So these videos have all been done before, but it's kind of hard to be a nurse and not say anything at all. So the new CDC recommendations say that healthcare workers can return to work after 5 days. I tested positive for COVID on Friday, triple vaxxed. And the answer work is telling me is they're ready for me to come back. Well, it hasn't even been 5 days. And so they said once I'm asymptomatic, I can come back. What is asymptomatic exactly? Well, they tell me a cough that is not disruptive to others. They also tell me no runny nose, and I need to wear an N95 the entire time I'm at work. The health department calls today. New York State is not adapting the CDC guidelines at this time. But they tell me, go ahead and do what your work tells you to do. So I said, okay, so I'm off quarantine since work is telling me to come back. No. I'm still on quarantine, but I can only go to work and back. So what you're telling me is in the great state of New York, you can go take care of patients while you are actively having COVID, but you can't go to the grocery store. Can't stop for food, can't get a coffee, can't go to the gas station, can't go anywhere. And what about my 3 kids that are on quarantine? Who's going to watch them while I go back to work? Have we not thought of this? Because my kids are still on quarantine for 10 days, but I'm expected to go back to work after 5. And what about this whole AHA guidelines with let's just go ahead and do CPR without PPE? I have COVID. I obviously will be wearing an N95, but am I expected with a non-COVID patient to wait until I have full PPE on to do CPR? Or do we have the same guidelines for our non-COVID patients as we do for our COVID patients? That, you know what, just go ahead and start CPR, and when you have PPE, go ahead and use it. Is that what we're doing? Should I tell my non-COVID patient that that's my plan? I'm just going to go ahead all COVID filled and start CPR on you and wait until somebody else with PPE can come switch out with me? This is healthcare in New York State. This is what we're doing to the people that have stood there and taken care of you when nobody else would. Thanks, Kathy Hochul.